is that first I want to let you know that my office is working hard to first create easily accessible data. But that's really just a baby step for data to be used in your hands. Without your institutional knowledge and your motivation to ask thoughtful questions and your determination to really make some actions based on the data you have seen, nothing will happen. We're just wasting this many working hours here. So I just want to highlight this point. This is just a start. And I want to point out a few things before I talk about the details about dashboard. Mary, the research specialist in I&A, she gives everybody 2 documents. And the first one is called Interactive Data Dashboard Workshop. That, I'm hoping with this document that can save a lot of my speaking so I can focus more on dashboards. But I really encourage you to either read here or read after the workshop. Introduction, purpose, why we hold this workshop, who are here, and what's our goal to deliver dashboards. And please turn the page. There's something called Next Steps for You. So we kind of imagined 4 steps for you, but you can add more thoughts on next steps for you. So I hope when you are sitting here, you're not only listening to me, think of some questions you want to ask later, and more importantly, think of things you want to do later. And another document is mostly drafted by our new research analyst, David Glavin, sitting back there. This is really a very good step-by-step detailed information on guiding you to access to the workshop. So I really encourage you to read the document before you send the email to IR, like how can we access the workshop, the dashboards. So that's a document. I really want to remind everybody here is that so far all the troubleshooting we have is that people haven't access to Paul, the VPN, first before they try to click the link. So always remember that you need to be linked to VPN first for the dashboard access. So now I'm going to talk about the dashboard. I think some of you have seen the dashboard before. So for those who haven't, I want to give sort of a whole picture here is that dashboard, Tableau is the software's name, Tableau dashboard. The neat thing about this is its interactive feature. What you need to do is click these filters to find the group you are most interested in. In this workshop, we particularly talk about admissions data and competitors. Admissions, we have admissions people here. Rob will talk about how his office uses this set of data. But I think everybody here is concerned about what students are coming to your program, how we can better serve those students. So competitors, we can have many definitions for this dashboard purpose. It's very restrictive. We mean those universities and the colleges who attracted our last admits. Last admits are those students who applied and they got admitted, but they didn't come, they didn't enroll here, they went to some other colleges and universities. So competitors can mean many different things, but here, that's a particular definition we give for competitors. So this dashboard will guide you to those, to understand more about your competitors. So this talked a little bit about data source. If you're interested in, just read this page, very short. How to use the dashboard. Really, it's to me, it's really kind of very straightforward, almost doesn't require any sophisticated data knowledge, but does require your institutional knowledge to understand the data and to ask questions. So you see D1, D2, D3, we have 8 such dashboards. And the first one, selectivity, top competitors. I want to give you an overview is that this is how we display the data here. Those are the filters, so you can find your group. The first thing you notice, multiple years. So you will have 2016 back to 2012. You can click any year you want. So when you want to understand the trend of particular programs or groups, you can see that. Campus, very straightforward. Student type, especially when we talk about in enrollment management context, we really want to differentiate freshmen here and the transfer here. So you can select different groups for different purposes. College, I particularly arranged here undergraduate college, and here is graduate college. So of course we have a graduate school, but we also think people may be interested in seeing graduate students from different colleges. So that's why we kind of differentiate here. The undergraduate SEPs I chose here, you can see all the majors just in SEPs. The version 1 dashboard, we had all the programs listed there, so people need to really go through the whole list to click their programs. So kind of paying there, so we changed the setting so you can only look at your college's program. Last of the mid, I just talked about it. So students are grouped in 3 categories: admitted, enrolled, and at UNH. Those are UNH students. Admitted, not enrolled anywhere, then based on National Clearinghouse data. And admitted, enrolled at some other institute. And Rob's presentation was especially talking about comparing those who enrolled here and those who enrolled somewhere else. You can actually compare them. And denied students. Then student state, where students come from, race, ethnicity, gender, first gen, initial contact, how we first contacted those students. In our last session, someone raised a question like, my office would like to know veteran students. So we are thinking about adding veterans here, but you can see the right side is pretty much very tied together. So we need to figure out a way how we add more filters, or we need to think about in dashboard we focus on major categories. We have another channel for you to access all the detailed information. So feel free that if you have any suggestion, you want to add some filters, not for one-time use, but for regular use, let my office know. The contact information are in both documents, so you wouldn't miss our contact information there. So any question about this particular page? Go ahead.
Can you search by more than one college if you want to search for something interdisciplinary?
Sure. Okay. I'm going to search SEPs.
SEPs and COSA?
Yes, we can. Yeah. Good question.
Am I clear that this also includes graduate school
Yes.
data? Okay.
Yes. Graduate school, law school, Manchester are all here.
Thank you.
Okay. If no other question, I'm going to move on to D2. So D2 is for another purpose that we want to see in particular year. What are the top majors? Not surprised. Top one is undeclared. Again, this time I'm going to use graduate school so you can take a look. So you have liberal arts, top majors here, and the blue red is in-state and out of state. So feel free, just click everything you can, and this will give you some explanation. Maybe some explanation is not complete or straigthforward. Just throw us an email saying you could have done this, but you didn't. So just throw an email. So those are the categories we think would matter to you. Then okay, I wanna highlight something. at least I personally got confused at the beginning stage. This dashboard is for applicants. Applicants admits enrolled students. Please don't look at this, okay, top 10 majors for my program is those. No, those are applicants. So you really need choose here to find your enrolled here, admitted, enrolled at UNH. So this is all, you can choose your program. Also we are doing another dashboard. I don't know when it will come out, but that's in the plan. We will have specific census data because right now the data are not completely integrated together. So applicant file has sort of data source. R30 file has, census file has another data source. But we are trying to piece them together, and they should not differ too much. If they differ too much, then something wrong. Actually, right after last session, Kim from Manchester pointed out this dashboard data for Manchester with enrollment scorecard we produced. There's some discrepancy there, so we were trying to delve into two different data sources to look at them, and we found something there. So my point is that different dashboards are built for different purposes. This one is particularly built for applicant. Then this one, I was thinking maybe you want to see the trends together at one time point, so you can see all trends together. And this one maybe is the way to demonstrate. I may think too much sometimes. So I was thinking our top competitors, you may want to see whether they get more and more UNH students or less and less. If your program has 3 top competitors, one of them get more and more UNH applicants. What would you do? You would look at that competitor, you would go to their webpage and find out what have they done to attract more and more UNH students. So hopefully you will do that, but that's an option for you to think about. One thing I didn't mention, but I really want you to know, I think Carrie just emailed me yesterday, like you need to deselect a lot of things. So reset filter, when you select this, select that, then you want to see another group, you don't need deselect, you just reset filter. So all those filters will go back to all. So that's a very neat feature there. Then selectivity analysis, heat map, selectivity, the red number is applicants. So you can see the explanation when you push when you move your cursor there. So applicants versus admit counts. Rob will talk more about what this can be used, how this can be used. D5 yield. I guess everybody knows what yield means. No? Okay. Blue number is admit, how many we admit, and this green number is how many really came. Of course, we want this yield number to be bigger, and my office also report to external agency, and this will be one of the metrics in U.S. News ranking, this ranking, that ranking, so all those metrics. So again, the thought is that we do so much for external reporting, so we want multi-purpose data for internal use. This is our best guess. So I believe you have better guess than us. If you think we missed something very important, and if you know, okay, IRNA is pulling enrollment dashboards, I need to jump in to give them some suggestions before they set all things up. So make sure your voice will be heard by emailing us. D6, bubble chart. It's very, I would say this chart is very raw because you see the categories are kind of big. We can refine that based on the needs, but the basic needs, GPA and SAT, of course we want our students to be here, not many here. Go ahead.
UNH GPA
mm-hmm.
and the SAT data.
No. High school
GPA.
GPA.
Okay.
High school GPA. Good point. Yeah, I need to put high school here. Yeah. Any other question before I move too fast with the dashboard? And you can ask later. We have a question session after all the presentations. After one more, actually, Rob's. So again, this is same idea, GPA, high school GPA, and SAT. We want to see the trend, all the years, all the same filters. D8, I think it's one of my favorite dashboard here, is that this really go to the level of high school. So if you look at 2016, you look at California, again, this dashboard is about applicants. So those 5 means 5 applicants were from this high school. 173 means high school counts, not student count. High school count. So same filter, you can look at our own state. I don't even know, Pinkerton Academy. Okay, so of course you can look at years. One comment I have heard, which I never thought of, is that I believe it's Michael in Manchester. He was playing with the dashboard and he was like, oh, there were one high school were in top 10 high schools, not this year. Where did they go? What has happened? So I never thought about that way to explore the data, but it's very natural to him. Again, please own the data. This is your data. It's called the institutional data. Find many ways to play with it, and maybe in the far future we can have a workshop. You present your stories instead of me present technical details how you use it. Really, it's not complicated to use it. It's filters, then the data dashboard. So that's pretty much it.
Can you share with the group your plans to build future storyboards? I know it's on the handout.
Okay,
just
yes.
Summarize quickly what
Okay.
the next set of...
Okay, so in the workshop handouts, I&A dashboards available in the development. The first one is this one, admissions competitors, available now. So that's available. The second one is retention and graduation in development. This one, it's really for multiple purposes to relieve some of my office burden to report retention and graduation. We do have that piece of information on our website by college level. But right now we get more and more questions at the program level. So that's one of the purposes to address that. Another one, the program review data, we promised we will deliver that. Retention and graduation dashboard, if you have any suggestion, please let us know now. I talked about enrolled student dashboard. We also are thinking about first generation survey result dashboard. We can dashboard almost every set of data. Especially, it will be very useful for you to understand the trend if we put all the years together. I'm gonna just share a little bit. It's relatively kind of new, even in the IR field. I'm going to present in DC at Association of Institutional Research field. I wrote a proposal about this dashboard, and the feedback I got is that, oh, this is something we talk about, but it's very new. My point is, it's not easy to put a dashboard. David, who had the dashboard experience before, now he's delving into the new dashboard. It's a lot of nitty-gritty things, very easy to mess up the whole thing. So bear with us. We do have such a plan. We do want to deliver all the dashboards for you to use, but we also need a little bit time. And I know you are very understanding. I almost feel when people talk to me, are so polite, you feel you're bothering me. I hope I don't share that attitude. I'm so happy to feel that you all think data is important. You are here, on such a cold day. It means a lot to me and to my office. Yeah. All right. So Rob's gonna talk about his perspective. We actually had a speaker on Tuesday, Nelson Barber from Paul College. He did fantastic talk about how, as a department chair, how he used the data. I was hoping that he could be here, but he has some other commitments. And we really need a volunteer and advocate for future workshops.